Hey guys, Mars Thinking here, bringing another Dragon Ball Z Dokkan battle video. And so today on the JP version of the game, we found out who the new, essentially like quest mode LR is going to be. There was a new quest mode update on JP, and the couple of copies were given out in the gift box for this new AGL Bardock. So it's kind of interesting that he is AGL, considering global, of course, we've just gotten the new LR, the AGL Bardock EZA, and so are currently having our own experience with a base form AGL Bardock. But yeah, this guy is released on JP. First things first, I think the art is super cool. I really like this art for him. It's kind of funny though, of course, this is his SSR art, so whatever he ends up becoming, this will not be his final art, but definitely very cool for an SSR art. So shout out to Minato for these posts. Like, for some reason, ever since the Dokkan wiki format updated, I can't get this to like show up correctly, but he's got it here showing in English as a screenshot. I mean, I don't know if it's just a Google Translate one, because it's time space transcender category, which I think is it time travelers, the weird translation. But now bear in mind that he is a free-to-play unit that is going to awaken multiple times potentially, right? If he's going to be like Trunks and Broly, then he's going to awaken into an LR. So whilst we can obviously see what he's going to do, we can't really judge any of his sort of like performance or like how good he seems like he is, because he's just an unawakened SSR. Like, you know, if we look back to the Trunks, for example, I'm looking at the SSR Trunks details here. So he also had a leader skill that was 2 key and 30%. And then like his super attack was just raise attack for 1 turn. His passive was obviously very short. So this guy increases attack infinitely. So it's an infinite stacking attack, which is cool. And then he increases defense for 1 turn. He does extra large damage to the opponent. I'm sure that is probably just going to be supreme. That's what the Trunks was. So infinite attack stacking is certainly interesting, as well as raise defense for 1 turn. So that's pretty cool. And then his passive is increase owner attack and defense by 80%. Attack and defense of all superclass allies 20%. So he's a support unit, which is cool. When there's an enemy who is most evil clan, so wicked bloodline enemy, attack will be increased by 80%. He has a medium chance to crit, so 30% chance to crit. If all allies participating in the turn are super types, medium chance to get an additional attack with a super. So it's not additional attack that has a medium chance to be a super with the way this is worded. So it's just a medium chance of doing an additional super, which means it's either a super or nothing. And then, I mean, obviously that'll be good for stacking. And then when you get a special, so on super, attack and defense 40%. The wording of this is always weird when it's just from Google Translate. But yeah, 40% attack and defense on super. So the interesting thing is he's a 20% support unit for super class allies for attack and defense, which is good. He also would, of course, give that buff to himself. But what's interesting about this is the blueprint of how he's going to look when he awakens, right? Because funnily enough, this Trunks has attack and defense 60%, so Bardock starts off with a little bit extra, 20%. He also had an additional attack that has a medium chance to become a super, although this guy, because of the way it's worded, I can't tell whether this is just a medium chance to do an additional super. It's kind of weirdly worded here. And then he had 30% attack and defense on super, whereas this guy has 40. So, I mean, you know, power creep, there has been progress in the game since the Trunks came out. But the thing to think about there is that when you look at the final form of what, you know, LR Trunks and Broly ended up becoming, they had 4 key, 100% attack and defense start of turn. So pretty significant increase. We started getting things like rainbow orb changing, additional attack per orb obtained, stuff like that. So this guy's going to obviously have higher stats. The support for superclass allies very likely could increase as well. The wicked bloodline enemy giving him extra attack is kind of a non-issue, because it's like not something you're really going to see very often anyway. Like for JP, the Legendary Freezer event has been out for a while now. Medium chance to crit could obviously increase. That would be quite good if it goes up to at least high chance. And then, of course, the chance to do an additional super with the superclass allies being increased would obviously be quite beneficial as well. So there's no way to really know exactly what he's going to become when he fully awakens. Infinite attack stacking is nice. Maybe if he gets like greatly raised defense in one turn by the time he becomes an LR, that would be very cool. Because much like the Trunks on his initial release, this guy only has a couple of links. Trunks only had 4. But these are his links and categories. So Saiyan Warrior Race, Saiyan Lineage, Team Bardock, Prepared for Battle, and Saiyan Pride. And then his categories: Time Travelers, Goku Family, Resurrected Warriors, Low Class Warrior, Team Bardock, Revenge, Timeless Legends, Pure Saiyans, Bond of Parent and Child, and Power of Revival. Now, the interesting thing for this is that, you know, Trunks ended up awakening into Trunks and Broly. So people are speculating already what kind of unit this guy will be. But the thing is, Trunks, when he released as an SSR, his only category was Time Travelers. And the thing is with these cards, and the reason why Trunks only had Time Travelers, is because the way Dokkan does these cards when they release them and they don't have their awakenings yet, is characters cannot lose categories, they can only gain them. So Trunks started off only having Time Travelers, and then his first awakening into a TUR was Super Saiyan Trunks and Super Saiyan Broly. So then immediately he picks up like Full Power, Joined Forces, Super Saiyan, Connected Hope, Entrusted Will, and Power of Wishes. Whereas this guy, he starts off having all of these categories: Time Travelers, Goku Family, all of this stuff. So straight away when his SSR thing was revealed and people started saying like, oh, he's going to awaken into an LR, what could it be? We were talking about it on stream earlier today, and like a couple of people, you know, excited for certain possibilities. It's like, oh, well, what if he's going to awaken into like a Goku and Bardock card? Well, he's on Team Bardock and Low Class Warriors, so very, very unlikely that that will be the case. He can't awaken into, I guess, any unit that is a joint, because he could still awaken into a Joined Forces character, because he would have, like, Joined Forces would just be added as a category. But the problem is he's also on Goku Family, so the character, if he was going to be a Joined Forces unit with a second character involved in the card, that character has to be a Goku Family character who is also on Pure Saiyans and Team Bardock, which realistically is no one. Like, if like the only other Team Bardock members are obviously, you know, Tora, Shugesh, Borgos, and Farsha, none of which are on Goku Family. Gine isn't considered a low-class warrior because the Bardock and Gine card from Dragon Ball Super is not on low-class warriors. Obviously, this is Z Bardock anyway. So he's on Resurrected Warriors, which I think is Power of Revival. I hate the like translations for some of these, but let me have a look at the category list on here, because Power of Revival, I think is it Powerful Comeback? Yeah, I think it's Powerful Comeback, which is interesting as well. Be interesting to see if he awakens into like an LR where he has the animation of like putting on the bandana or something, because it does very much seem like it's just a Z Bardock, and him having Powerful Comeback, I guess that would make sense. Revenge, of course, because if we take a look at the if we get the wiki view up here and take a look at the AGL Bardock, so this is the AGL Bardock from the Super Saiyan Bardock special, where obviously, you know, this AGL Bardock transforms into a Super Saiyan. He's on Low Class Warriors, but he's not on Team Bardock, because by the time you get to this point in the story, or like this OVA, the whole of Team Bardock is already dead, right? This Bardock gets sent back in time from the giant explosion of Planet Vegeta, right? So Team Bardock is already gone, so he doesn't have Team Bardock, whereas the new unit does. The interesting thing, though, is like this guy, who is, of course, the actual Tech Bardock from the Bardock special, he is on Team Bardock, but the interesting thing is when you look at his categories, he's not on Time Travelers. So this new Bardock is a Team Bardock character who's also on Time Travelers, which actually, if I go into the character list in the game, where is Team Bardock? If we look at Team Bardock and Time Travelers, have them both selected at the same time, there are no characters that exist in the game, at least on Global, that are on Team Bardock and Time Travelers. So the only thing that suggests to me is that this guy could start off as like the Z Bardock, and then he has like a revival into Super Saiyan or something, or like his revival is like the explosion of Planet Vegeta and getting sent back in time and then becoming a Super Saiyan, or I don't know. But yeah, it's very weird because no other Bardocks are on both Team Bardock and Time Travelers, because those two things happen separately. And other things that we were, you know, speculating when talking about it on stream, it was like, what if he awakens into like Marseillan, right, from Xenoverse? But then again, like, he wouldn't be on Team Bardock if that was the case, right? So very, very interesting to see what they're actually going to do with this guy, because the options are somewhat limited because of the categories that he's on. Because whatever he awakens into, he has to be on all of these categories. And he could be on more, because they can add them, but he can't be on less, because they can't take them off. So it does very much seem like whatever he awakens into, it is just going to be a base form Bardock. Here's actually the tweet. I can get it up here. I changed the view. The tweet from Truth as well. So you get 5 copies of Bardock in the gift box, and then you can get him extra copies for 100 green gems. He does not drop from a stage. So obviously, if you're someone who link levels and stuff like that, you're going to have a ton of green gems. You're of course going to want to get the, I mean, he has a farmable super attack, so you don't have to necessarily waste green gems to get the copies to get his SA up to 10. You get enough copies from the gift box to open up all of his paths. But obviously, if you want to have a second copy, if he is going to awaken into an LR, get a second SA10 copy ready. And of course, at some point in the future, he might get an easy A, so you might want a third copy at SA5. I still have my SA5 copy of LR Trunks and Broly ready for when they eventually get an easy A. But let me know what you guys think down below in the comment section. So this Bardock, certainly very interesting. I know the tweet from Minato, the actual like news icon thing looked very cool. It's just the AGL, like, I think it's just for like the quest update. But yeah, that art is super cool. So shout out to Minato for posting these. Like I say, I couldn't find the English version of this, or get the English version to come up on the wiki. So let me know what you guys think down below in the comment section. What do you think Bardock will look like when he's fully awakened? Like I say, it's very, very likely that he's just going to be a standalone Bardock. There aren't really any other joined forces, like units that could go along with him to make a joined forces card that fit into all those categories. So let me know what you think down below in the comment section. Obviously, no idea when this will come to global. It is directly tied to the quest thing, so I guess whenever we get this new set of quest stages that JP has gotten is when we'll get this update as well. So let me know what you guys think down below in the comment section. So that's going to be it for the video, guys. This has been the Master Ningen. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new. Check out the links down below for the Discord and the merch store, and I will see you all again soon. Have a good one.